At 1:47 a.m., a voicemail came through on an old flip phone belonging to a 78-year-old widow in Jasper County. A voicemail so quiet, so cracked with emotion, that detectives would later call it the softest cry for help they had ever heard. In it, Evelyn Ward sings, "Hush, little baby, don't say a word." Her voice trembling, her words broken, her fate sealed. Because within the next 16 minutes, the boy she raised as her own, her grandson, her only living family, would walk into her house and walk out, leaving behind a scene that first responders described as inhuman. And by dawn, that same boy would be in Las Vegas, popping champagne, swiping the debit card of the woman who once starved herself so he could eat. What he didn't know was that Evelyn had prepared one final message, a message that would follow him across state lines, right into a penthouse suite, and into a courtroom that would never forget the sound of her lullaby. Tonight, we uncover the story of a grandmother's devotion, a young man's descent into entitlement and violence, and a justice that came far too late. To understand why Evelyn Ward kept giving, even when the world begged her to stop, we have to go back 18 years. Back to the night Tyler's mother, Evelyn's daughter, was found in the back seat of her car with an empty syringe and a bottle of cold McDonald's sweet tea. Her overdose left a 5-month-old baby screaming in the dark. And Evelyn, at 60 years old, took him home. No hesitation, no savings, no plan, just love. She worked part-time as a cashier at a thrift store. She lived off a small pension and food stamps. But to Tyler, she became everything. Mrs. Callahan: "Oh, honey, Evelyn, she worshipped that boy. Had every one of his crayon drawings taped up on her fridge. She'd walk him to school, rain or shine. She'd say, 'I'm the only one that's ever stayed for him.' And she was." But somewhere between childhood and adolescence, Tyler changed. He discovered the rush of attention, the thrill of expensive shoes, the status of iPhones, the validation of friends who only cared about what he brought to the table. And Evelyn, desperate to keep him close, began giving more than she had, skipping meals so she could buy him $300 Jordans, taking out credit cards she didn't understand for $1,200 phones, even posting his $2,000 bail after he was arrested for fighting outside a club. She never asked for a penny back. She only asked for one thing: "Promise me you won't end up like your mama." But Tyler wasn't listening. He only heard the sound of her wallet opening.
On February 14th, while the rest of the world posted heart emojis and candlelit dinners, Evelyn Ward sat alone in her small bedroom, her knees stiff with arthritis, her stomach empty, her heart full of a worry she couldn't shake. At 1:44 a.m., her phone lit up. Text: "Tyler, need $5K for Vegas. Send now or regret it." $5,000, more money than Evelyn had seen in one place in years, and for the first time in her life, she told him no. Text: "Evelyn, no baby, Grandma's heart can't take more. Get help." Detective Ramirez: she had never denied him anything. That text was the breaking point for her and for him. Minutes later, she left a voicemail, a soft, trembling mix of lullaby and apology, a message detectives would listen to more than 60 times over the course of the investigation. Then she closed her eyes, and for the first time in decades, Evelyn Ward fell asleep afraid. At 2:03 a.m., Tyler used a key his grandmother had given him when he was 12, a key she never took back, a key he now used to step into her home not as the frightened little boy she once comforted, but as something far darker. Moonlight sliced across the floor as he walked to her room. Detective Ramirez, there were no signs of forced entry. He didn't sneak. He didn't rush. He walked in like he belonged there. Standing over her sleeping form, Tyler whispered, "You were my mom, and you're abandoning me?" Her eyes fluttered open. She smiled, despite everything. "Evelyn, weak, I'm saving you." She reached for a photo on her nightstand, a photo of her and baby Tyler on the porch swing. He crushed the frame under his boot, glass cracking like her heart. Tyler dragged his grandmother by the wrist through the hallway lined with his childhood art, the finger-painted suns, the stick figure families, the drawing of her holding him after his mother's funeral. He pulled her into the kitchen.
"Feel what cutting me off burns like." He shoved her hands onto the burner. Her skin hit the red-hot metal. Her voice cracked the night. Neighbors would later say it sounded like a soul leaving the body. Paramedic Hollis. The burns were, "I've done this job 15 years. I've never seen anything like what he did to her hands." She collapsed. Her lullaby reduced to gurgled breaths. And Tyler? He walked out calmly, took her debit card from her purse, and shut the door behind him. By 5:41 a.m. Vegas time, Tyler posted his Instagram story of the day, a table covered with champagne bottles, a dancer kissing his cheek. Caption, "Living my best life." He spent $1,800 in the first 2 hours alone. Casino security officer. Kid was reckless, kept yelling, "Run it up, Grandma's paying." We thought it was a joke. It wasn't. Back in Jasper County, neighbors saw smoke seeping from Evelyn's kitchen window. They called 911. First responders found Evelyn on the floor, barely breathing, her hands burned so severely that bone showed through the charred flesh. And next to her, her flip phone, still glowing, still recording. Detectives recovered a scheduled text that Evelyn had set to send if she didn't wake up by 6 a.m. The message was simple, heartbreaking, and damning. Evelyn's text, "If I don't wake up, play the voicemail." Attached was a recording, her last lullaby, her last warning, her last breath. Detective Ramirez, "We all cried. You couldn't listen to that and stay human."
The voicemail was uploaded to 911 through her iCloud backup, meaning Tyler's own grandmother, even in her final minutes, had ensured he wouldn't hurt anyone else. At 10:12 a.m., Las Vegas Metro and detectives from Jasper County stormed the penthouse suite Tyler had bragged about online. He was mid-craps roll when the door burst open. "Officer, Tyler Ward, hands where we can see them." Surveillance video shows him laughing, actually laughing, until they played Evelyn's voicemail over a body cam speaker. He froze, dice slipping from his palm, face draining of color. In the background, Evelyn's voice whispered, "Hush, little baby, don't say a word." And that was it. The boy she raised, the boy she starved for, the boy she defended, finally looked afraid. The courtroom was packed. Evelyn's neighbors, her church friends, her co-workers from the thrift store, even strangers who'd heard the voicemail online. The prosecution played the recording 3 times. By the end, even the judge had tears in her eyes. Tyler's defense argued he was sleep-deprived, emotionally unstable, under the influence, acted without intent. But the jury didn't need long. He tortured her, then went to Vegas and celebrated. That's not a mistake. That's who he is. Tyler Ward was convicted of first-degree murder, elder abuse, and financial exploitation. He showed no emotion during the verdict. But when the judge asked if he had anything to say, he asked for one thing: to hear the voicemail again. The courtroom gasped. The judge refused. Evelyn was buried next to her daughter, her hands wrapped carefully in gauze, her flip phone placed gently on her chest, her lullaby printed on her tombstone. Neighbors visit her grave every Mother's Day. The fridge full of drawings, still preserved, still taped exactly where she left them. And that voicemail, the one that captured her love and her suffering, is now used in training programs for domestic elder abuse cases across multiple states. Her last act saved lives. Tyler Ward didn't just kill the only woman who ever loved him. He killed the part of himself she spent 18 years trying to protect. And now, in a cold prison cell, surrounded by concrete and regret, he lies awake at night hearing the same lullaby that once soothed him to sleep. The same lullaby that sealed his fate. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. If you believe betrayal cuts deeper than any blade, leave a like. Share Evelyn's story, and stay safe out there. Because sometimes, the people we love the most are the ones who hurt us the deepest.